What if the music you loved carried a secret so heavy that even the people closest to the artist didn't know it? The 1980s were a neon blur of big hair, wild nights, and chart-topping anthems. But in the shadows, a silent epidemic was stealing some of its brightest stars. These were not just musicians. They were innovators and rebels whose names lit up marquees. Until suddenly, they were gone. And the truth about why only emerged after it was too late. Before we start, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which 80s song still gives you chills today? Our journey begins in Athens, Georgia, with Ricky Wilson, the eccentric founding guitarist of the B-52s. His unusual guitar tuning gave the band its strange, danceable edge. But while recording Bouncing Off the Satellites in 1985, Ricky grew thin and pale. Only his sister and bandmate Cindy Wilson knew why. "Don't tell anyone. I don't want it to stop the fun," he told her. On October 12, 1985, Ricky died of AIDS-related complications at just 32 at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Medical Center in New York City. The band only learned the truth that day. The world found out through a brief press release. No interviews, no details, just a shockwave through their fans. He was laid to rest in Oconee Hill Cemetery, Athens, not far from where his music career began. 4 years later, the disease claimed another quiet giant, Alan Murphy. A gifted British guitarist who played with Kate Bush, Go West, and finally Level 42, Alan was adored for the emotional fluidity of his playing. He kept his illness hidden, even from his closest collaborators. In October 1989, he died in Westminster, London, from pneumonia brought on by AIDS. He was only 35. His burial was a private affair, and fans only learned of his illness when Level 42 publicly announced it after his passing, turning what was meant to be a quiet goodbye into a national moment of grief. That same year, Billy Lyle's story ended too soon. The Scottish keyboardist behind Pilot's Magic and a contributor to the Bay City Rollers and the Alan Parsons Project, Billy brought wit and warmth to every band he touched. By late 1989, the disease had taken its toll. On December 23rd, he died at his home in Edinburgh, aged just 36. The cause, AIDS-related complications, was revealed only in passing in local obituaries. He was buried in the family plot in Edinburgh, leaving behind music that still feels like summer, and a sadness that his brightest years were stolen. But the earliest of these losses came from a man far ahead of his time, Jobriath. In the 1970s, he was one of the first openly gay rock musicians signed to a major label, but his career was sabotaged by a world that wasn't ready. By the early 80s, he was living quietly in New York, performing cabaret under the name Cole Berlin. In August 1983, AIDS took him at age 36 in his Chelsea hotel apartment. He was cremated, with no public funeral. The press barely covered his death. Only later did his friends and fans reveal that AIDS had been the cause, making him one of the first famous musicians to die from the disease. The 1990s brought no mercy. Ray Gillen, with his powerhouse vocals for Badlands and a brief stint in Black Sabbath, seemed destined for rock immortality. But as rumors about his health swirled in the early 90s, Ray denied them. In December 1993, at just 34, he died in a New York hospital from AIDS-related illness. He was buried in St. Joseph's Cemetery, Wall Township, New Jersey. It wasn't until bandmates spoke publicly that the truth emerged, yet another reminder of the secrecy the stigma demanded. Frank Laverty brought joy to dance floors with his high-NRG disco hits in the 80s. Known for his fearless fashion and larger-than-life energy, Frank's career dimmed as his health failed. He died in August 1990 in San Francisco, at just 40 years old from AIDS complications. Friends quietly confirmed the cause. The broader music press largely stayed silent. He rests in Colma, California, in the shadow of the city whose nightlife he helped shape. And then, Freddie Mercury. Queen's flamboyant, larger-than-life frontman had been dodging rumors about his health for years. "I don't want to be the poster boy for AIDS," he reportedly told friends. "I just want to keep making music until I can't anymore." On November 23, 1991, he finally told the world he had AIDS. Less than 24 hours later, he died in his Kensington home in London, aged 45. He was cremated at Kensal Green Cemetery, with his ashes given to Mary Austin, the woman he once called his common-law wife. The public revelation and his rapid passing turned the private grief of his loved ones into a global awakening about the crisis. Each of them carried their illness in silence, fearing a stigma that could end careers as surely as the disease ended lives. And maybe, in remembering them, not just for how they died, but for how they lived. we give back the voice the world once tried to take from them. Subscribe and don't miss our upcoming deep dives into their music.